Hi guys, and welcome to Power Drift and to the first drive event of the Jeep Compass. Yes, I know I'm not at the first drive event, and that's because at the event itself it started to rain tremendously, which is why I'm back at HQ to tell you all about it. Now, the Jeep Compass is FCA's Make in India car. They have aggressively marketed this car as a Make in India car. And FCA has invested over $280 million into its Ranjangaon facility. That's over 1,800 crores. And they say that this facility is going to cater to right-hand drive markets around the world. They're telling us that this is the exact same car that they're going to sell in India. The Compass is quite a handsome looking car. Yes, it does look like a baby Grand Cherokee. In the front, you have that imposing 7-slat grille. You have trapezoidal wheel arches. The car also has a couple of interesting design elements. For example, you have this chrome strip that runs all around the car that divides the body from the roof, that gives it sort of a floating roof design. In addition to that, you get bi-xenon headlamps, LED tail lamps, LED DRLs as well. Now, the car is going to be available in a total of 3 trims with 2 engine options and 2 gearbox options. Essentially, you have the Sport, the Latitude, and the one that we drove, the Limited. The Limited is the top end trim, and there was only one engine option available to drive, which is the 2-liter multi-jet engine that produces 171 bhp and 350 Newton meters of torque. So what does the Compass drive like? Well, the simple answer is very well. The car comes with independent suspension all around, and it has FSD technology, which stands for frequency sensitive dampers. Now, how it works is basically it's got a special valve that controls the flow of fluid inside of the shock. It is a mechanical system, so it's not as complicated as the systems you get that in more expensive cars that uses electronics to alter the handling characteristics of the car. But in short, it works very well. In the corners, the car was really nice and flat with minimal amounts of body roll, and over broken patches of tarmac and potholes, it really nicely ironed out the bumps. It's a great balance between handling and ride quality. The steering is nice and direct, but being an EPS track, there was a surprising amount of feedback that was coming through the steering. And considering we were driving in the tight and twisty and narrow roads in Goa, it was surprisingly easy to position the car. The power delivery on the car is fairly smooth, but to be honest, the car really felt most at home cruising around in 6th gear. Now, despite the high amounts of insulation and sound deadening in the car, there was still a fair amount of engine noise that crept into the cabin. Now, by no means it was loud enough to be a deal breaker, but it is definitely not as refined as its competition. The clutch, I felt, was a tad on the heavier side, and the gearbox was a little too notchy for my liking, but the gear lever itself actually has a very interesting aluminium finish to it. It felt really nice to hold. Inside the cabin, however, the fit and finish of everything is very, very good. The quality of materials used is top-notch. Every touch point was soft touch. The seats are supremely comfortable, offer great support, great bolstering as well, and in the back we have specially designed seats for the Indian and Chinese market that offer better under-thigh support, because this is the market that likes to be chauffeured around. The car has dual zone climate control, and in the back you also have AC vents, but the flow of air is not controllable in the back. The infotainment unit is a 7-inch touchscreen that comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I know that this is super subjective, but I felt that the audio quality was exceptional. The UI on the infotainment unit I felt was pretty laggy, but it doesn't come with sat-nav, but that's perfectly fine because everybody uses their phones anyways, and it does have a compass. On the steering wheel, rather just behind the steering wheel, there are 2 switches that control the volume on your right side and your audio source on the left. And I found the system actually very intuitive to use. All the buttons and knobs are nice and chunky and easy to use, very well laid out. And the rear parking camera has dynamic guidelines as well. So the next morning, we were asked to report at the crack of dawn. I loaded my bags up in the boot. It offers a 428-liter boot with the seats up and up to 1251 liters with the seats down. And we were taken to a place to explore the real party trick of the Compass, which was taking it off-road. Jeep tell us that this car is quite a capable off-roader. So we're going to put it through its paces and see what the car is all about. So we have our instructor here, Mr. Jagbir. Another interesting feature with the Compass is that it's got black cladding all around, so it also offers a lot of protection to the underside of the car, in addition to the fact that in case you bin it, you're not going to dent a lot of expensive paint.
Now technically the Compass offers around 200 millimeters of ground clearance, but because of new Indian regulation, that number on paper is going to be closer to 155 millimeters.
So when you stall, it automatically engages the parking brake, which is good, and holds you in position so you don't roll back. Right now the obstacle we're going to do next is a steep descent. Just catch a glimpse of it and it actually looks pretty steep. Compass comes with over 50 active and passive safety features. So this brake force multiplier is one of the features as well. I won't be using too much brake pressure and the car will take care of it as well. So let's just find out.
So you have to keep the car in the center.
Sure.
Don't try to climb
any
of the curbs.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not even kidding. I'm barely touching the brake. I'm barely touching the brake, but it is holding the car so well. Well, this was the end of the 45-minute obstacle course we had. Drive through the jungle, the thick jungle here in Goa. It's amazing how the car just kind of takes care of everything for you. You just let it do its thing, don't get in its way, work with it rather against it, and it'll reward you so well.
Now all of this I know sounds impressive, but the car is far from perfect. If I have to be honest, considering the fact that we were driving the top-end car, it lacks quite a lot of features that we take for granted in this segment. For example, it doesn't have cruise control, no automatic headlamps, no automatic wipers, no electric seats, no sunroof, no automatic tailgate, and if I have to nitpick some more, I felt that the storage spaces inside the car, specifically the cubby holes, weren't exactly what I'd call practical, and I felt that the brakes could have been a little bit better. However, that being said, what Jeep did tell us is that since this is the manufacturing hub for this car, they can add or take away more features depending on how the market reacts. So they can add up to 19-inch rims, they can add more colors or take away more colors. Basically what Jeep is saying is that they're playing it safe with the Compass. Now don't get me wrong, I really like the Compass, and compared to other cars in this segment, the Compass really has a personality to it. For example, the designers have added some Easter eggs in the car. So you have a little lizard up front, you have a little dragon in the rear windshield. And compared to other cars in the segment, the Compass really feels like a wholesome package. It drives really well, it's well put together, it's comfortable, and you can genuinely take this car off-road. But the Compass isn't really just a make in India car, it's a make or break in India car for FCA, and its success largely depends on two factors. Number one is the price. Now speculators have forecasted that the car is going to cost anywhere from 15 to 30 lakh rupees. But given the car I drove, I feel like if it hits the 24 lakh rupee mark, I think it would be good value. And number two is the dealer and the service network. Now apart from the handful of Jeep dealers in the country, FCA have told us that they're working with all the dealers across the country to upgrade their facilities to accommodate the Jeep brand, which means that a customer will now have access to over 50 dealerships as well, which means that to some degree the serviceability of the Compass will be taken care of. Now that being said, I really do hope that the Compass does well. But what do you think about the Compass? Well, you can let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. And now that the monsoons have hit, I hope you all are riding and driving safe. I will see you soon again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.